I knew it would be more complicated out there. I just didn't know how complicated.
You'll be fine. Tell me about the twins.
I just don't think they killed their mother, no matter what anyone says. I've met James, and he's sweet and quiet, but he does have this, sadness about him.
As if he's not complete?
You could say that. Why?
I need to meditate on it longer.
No break-in, nothing stolen. O'Connor assumed the brothers did it.
But
take the knife, for example. Say you're gonna stab me, how are you gonna hold it?
like this, I guess?
Exactly. But the prints they got from the twins came off the blade, like this.
Well, so maybe they just picked it up, out of curiosity.
There was also another set of partial prints. They never got a match. No one followed up on it.
Oh, Detective, you don't know what this means. Maria Santos said that Edward's favorite jacket was missing.
The murderer could have put it on to cover his bloody clothes.
The murderer? Does that mean you believe?
I believe nothing. Yeah.
Wait a minute, this is the man that I chased at Greenwell.
It's impossible. He hasn't been seen or heard from in years. This is the Patrick Talley Sr., two-timing husband, deadbeat dad, and if you ask me, a prime suspect.
But he looks exactly like him.
His son. While he was still married to Alberta, he lived with another woman. They had a son, Patrick Jr. It could be him.
By the way, I found some film buried in the medical school archives. I had it transferred to tape for you.
Edward, how many jelly beans did your mother just pour from the jar?
876.
James, do you agree?
222 blue ones, 200 red ones.
Hello?
Is this Miss Bennett?
Yes?
This is Selma Franklin.
Mrs. Franklin, I'm so glad you called.
Do you have time to drop by the house?
I do. I could be there in an hour?
I'll be expecting you.
Great, I'll see you then.
3 green ones, 56 black ones. 876.
I know this is personal, but I was wondering, how did you come to buy this house? It seems a bit out of the price range for someone
Who's a housekeeper?
well, honestly, yes.
Truthfully, sister, the price of a home drops significantly once it becomes known that a murder was committed inside it. They have to report that by law, and most people don't want to live in a house with such a history.
Does it bother you?
I guess it would if I thought about it, but I try not to. It's the only way I could afford my own home. I think I've told you everything, sister.
I have to make a confession. I lied to you. I used to be Sister Edward Francis, but now I'm Christine Bennett.
Oh.
There. I feel much better for telling the truth. I saw Maria Santos yesterday. She told me that you and Mrs. Talley didn't get along very well. Mrs. Franklin, I don't mean to stir up unpleasant memories. I just want to help James and his brother.
I was there the night of the murder. I was fixing dinner. I heard someone walk past my window.
And then what happened?
Well, I heard their doorbell ring. The door opened. Angry voices. The door closed. It sounded like an argument. I heard Mrs. Talley. No, stop, please.
What did you do then?
I went over to the house. There were noises from inside, not voices, movement. The noise stopped just like that. I slipped back into my quarters and locked the door. After a few minutes, someone came out of the front door, past my window. I was too scared to look out and see who it was.
Why didn't you call the police?
I couldn't.
Mrs. Franklin, was your son at home with you?
I told you my son died in Vietnam.
The war ended in March of 1973. Maria Santos said that he was here living with you in 1974.
Did she tell you he was a two-bit thief stealing money from his mother's purse? That nothing mattered to him except his next fix? No. My son left his heart and soul in Vietnam. What came home?
I'm so sorry.
I didn't see him all that weekend. Then he comes home, strung out and looking like hell. Then I asked him where he'd been, and he said nowhere. But that weekend I found these. These belong to Alberta Talley. I don't know why I've kept them all these years.
It's all right.
It's not all right. It hasn't been for a long time. Because you see, my son killed Alberta Talley.